So the rumor mill never stops, and it's a new year, so it's a new Pixel release year. And these are the 5 things we are fairly certain are coming with the Pixel 10 releasing later on this year. Now, I don't want to be the one to jinx it, but everything is pointing out towards a marriage between Google and TSMC for the manufacturing of the Tensor G5 chip. And I could not be more excited about that prospect. And the more we pry into the details on the leaks, the more excited I start to get about certain small details that have slipped through the cracks, and they are really substantial. Like for starters, it will use the 3nm M3E process that Apple uses for their A18 Pro chips, and that's just the latest and greatest when it comes to process nodes for manufacturing chips in general. That will result in higher performance, lower power consumption, and just an overall more efficient chip, and that's a win across the entire board. Another thing that's very interesting is the layout of the cores. Like Tensor G4 had a 4-3-1 layout. That means 1 big core, 3 medium cores, and 4 small cores in an 8-core chip. And the Tensor G5 is looking to be a 2-5-1 layout, with the middle cluster using a completely different core design, and that's really potentially very interesting. It's hard to tell how much power it's going to use in comparison to the old middle cluster and how more performant it's going to be, but I really feel like it's in that part of the chip that the performance and the battery efficiency is really going to come from, but I don't know, we'll wait and see. On top of that, a new GPU is also going to be there, and that's finally going to start supporting 4K 60fps HDR video, which is a must-do for top-of-the-line smartphones in 2025, and a better cinematic mode if that's really up your alley. What I'm secretly hoping for is that they reduce the amount of cropping that the video feed does in general when recording video. I feel like there's much improvement to happen there, and the higher processing power will make more efficient use of the sensor and how many pixels they can downscale to the 4K resolution instead of just skipping them, but you know, that's where I'm at. The other big change on the Pixel 10 lineup is the new Pixel Sense Assistant. I feel like it's going to be a big shift into how Google does Assistant on device, and the entire way that it's being pitched is that it's going to do much more work on device and not have to send everything to the cloud at all times to get fast responses, and that really is up my alley when it comes to assistants. Like having an immediate response instead of having to wait for it to be sent to the cloud and sent back just for doing small things really is a major improvement to usability. Their goal really was to create an assistant that's more contextual and more personalized, and it will be able to interact with all your Google apps, so your YouTube, your Google Maps, all the Google Suite. It will be able to just interact with those and help you around, and we'll wait and see to see how fast and how just reliable and usable it will be on launch, but everything is pointing out to it releasing on the Pixel 10, maybe being a Pixel 10 exclusive feature, who knows, but it's definitely going to come out when the Pixel 10 launches. I find it very interesting that Google is moving away from having everything on the cloud and putting more local on-device processing, and the new Gemini Nano models are definitely targeted to more smaller, less capable computers, and you know, smartphones are just that, so it will definitely be interesting to see what they can actually produce when it comes to results, the quality, the speed, but more importantly, I feel like this will be a great opportunity for Google to sort of segment which features go to which devices, and I don't know how exclusive this particular version of Pixel Sense and the new assistant is going to be to Pixel 10 devices, but the writing is definitely in there for it to be a performance requirement for it to be able to run, but you know, we'll see. There will also be some new AI features like a speak to tweak for a photo, where you pretty much will ideally describe how you want a particular picture to be edited. Maybe you want it warmer, or maybe you want it slightly cropped. You'll be able to just do that with your voice, which could be very interesting, and it could sort of lower the bar for editing photos for regular people. We'll definitely test it out. But at the same time, they will be sort of catching up to what Samsung has been doing when it comes to sketching and how AI sort of completes the sketch, like we've been seeing on Galaxy devices. That's likely to come. And we've also seen the writing for some magic mirror feature, but we don't have any notes on what that might be. But magic mirror. That'll be a thing. And to close it all out, pricing and release dates. Like Google last year moved their release dates of the Pixel around a month earlier. They announced it mid-August and it reached the shelves in early September. And I feel like this year is going to be the exact same timeline for these devices. So if you're right now still considering buying a phone, you're right in the middle of being too early and too late. So if you're happy with the performance of the Pixel 9 Pros and they're excellent devices, maybe jump the gun and don't worry too much more about it. But if you are okay with waiting, you're right on the crossover from being just closer to the release of Pixel 10 than we are to the release of Pixel 9. And that's just incredibly exciting. What's slightly less exciting is the potential pricing increases. Like, this is a little speculation, but I looked at the pricing and how it has been sort of increasing with the releases of Pixels. And if I was a betting man, I would say a straight increase, $100 across the entire range, will kind of make sense, even if, it's a price increase, and that's always hard to swallow. And that's all the leaks we have for the Pixel 10 lineup of devices right now, but we'll definitely stay on top of it. And if you're interested, just follow Android Authority, and as soon as we know something, we'll let you guys know. And very excited about the Pixel 10. I think this is going to be a great Pixel year, maybe even some camera upgrades. One can wonder. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.